In this video, I'll discuss the difference between the additive color system and the two subtractive color systems. If you are new to color wheels, I encourage you to listen to my videos about the color wheel before you listen to this one. The information is in my book, Ellen's Art for Beginners, Color and Light, on Amazon, and I have a link to the book at the bottom of this video. Colors are either additive or subtractive. Additive colors refer to light rays added together, and they produce a lighter value because we're adding light, and it's relevant to stage lighting, computer screens, and sunsets. The three primary colors in the additive system are red, green, and blue, or RGB. The cones in our retina are also red, green, and blue because our eyes see light, not pigments or surfaces. The sky colors follow the additive system, and we often see blue and yellow in the sky, but we don't see green, but rather a whitish, desaturated blue. In the diagram, you can see that mixing yellow and blue would make a whitish cyan or a whitish magenta. Combining all colors of light result in white light, seen in the center of this diagram, like the color of the sun at noon. Since all colors are made up of the three primary colors, RGB, we could instead just mix the three primary colors to get white. Pigments and dyes use subtractive colors from reflected light. When light hits a blue surface, that surface absorbs all light except blue, and then it reflects those blue rays to our eyes so the surface looks blue. In other words, this surface subtracts colors. There are two common subtractive systems, the print system and the traditional system. The primary colors in the print system are like our print inks. They are cyan, yellow, and magenta. They're primary because they cannot be made by mixing two other colors together. For the traditional system, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. But as I'll show you in a minute, blue and red are actually secondary colors. When all the subtractive colors are combined, the result is theoretically black, which absorbs all light. But mixing pigments creates a dark brown or gray instead of a black due to reflective contaminants in the paint. So printers also have black ink since it's less expensive than mixing colored ink together, and since it's needed to produce a true black rather than a dark brown or gray. The print primaries cyan and magenta are available in dyes and transparent pigments that let some of the white of the paper show through, keeping the colors light and saturated. These colors are more difficult to achieve using opaque pigments. The master painters of the past didn't have access to cyan and magenta paints, so they used the traditional colors instead, whose hues are generally darker and less saturated than with the print system. There are two reasons why the print system is more realistic than the traditional one, and I'll discuss the first reason here. In the traditional color wheel, red and blue are considered primary colors, but they actually are secondary colors because we can get them by mixing magenta and yellow to get red, or magenta and cyan to get blue. And I did this with markers, so these are the true colors you get. So red and blue are in fact secondary colors, not primary colors. And the true primary colors are magenta and cyan in the print system. The print system is also more realistic than the traditional system because it's directly related to the additive colors, the colors of light. So the primary colors in the additive system are red, green, and blue, while the secondary colors in the print system are red, green, and blue. Now, the secondary colors in the additive system are cyan, yellow, and magenta, And the primary colors in the print system are cyan, yellow, and magenta. So you can see that the primary and secondary colors of the additive and print systems are reciprocal, so they're directly related to one another. Even though the print primary system is more realistic than the traditional system, I'm going to use the traditional colors for 4 reasons. And the first one is that pigments in cyan and magenta are less readily available than blue and red. The second reason why I'm using the traditional colors rather than the print primaries is that the secondary traditional colors make sense to us. In other words, blue and yellow make green, yellow and red make orange, and red and blue make violet. But most people wouldn't know what cyan mixed with magenta would make. Another reason to use the traditional color system is that the tertiary colors make sense, and they're all the ones with 2 letters. So red-orange, for example, is a mix of red, a primary color, with orange, a secondary color. The tertiary colors in the print system are unfamiliar to us and have been given various names like cool, red, or carmine. And then the final reason to use the traditional systems is that most art books use it. So the print system is more accurate than the traditional one for 2 reasons. First, it's directly related to the additive colors. That is, the primary colors in the additive system are the same as the secondary colors in the print primary system. And the secondary colors in the additive system, cyan, yellow, and magenta, are the same as the print primaries. And the other reason the print system is more accurate is that it has true primary colors. Magenta and cyan are primary colors that cannot be made by mixing 2 other colors together, whereas red and blue are secondary colors. I'm still going to use the traditional color wheel because cyan and magenta paints are harder to find than red and blue. Most art books use the traditional colors, and the traditional secondary and tertiary colors make sense to us. The only difference between the 2 subtractive systems, the print primary and the traditional system, are those colors that we label primary, secondary, and tertiary. Otherwise, the full color wheel is the same for both, where blue-green is equivalent to cyan and red-violet is similar to magenta. Check out my book, Ellen's Art for Beginners, Color and Light, with a link to the book at the bottom of this video. And please remember to subscribe.